So, this was weekly first round. Hope you enjoy. Highlights out soon, boys. See ya.
It's pretty entertaining to watch in general as we do see the players loading into the server here. I feel like Clock might have the advantage here, but you never know. I mean, mHacker1, definitely a stacked team.
Oh yeah, for sure. These are going to be new players I actually haven't seen before. This might actually be an interesting game, even maybe close. Only really time until as everyone's going to be loading into the lobby as we speak. We already have everyone from Clock already in. We are going to be waiting on 2 people from mHacker1, and there it is. Everyone's going to be in, and we are going to be starting in 15 seconds. As everyone's going to be loading in. Everyone's going to be making themselves nice and warm for the tournament. And 5 seconds left. Majora, why don't you take us away for the first point for the first game for the EU Weekly?
Of course, with pleasure. So it does look like over here, mHacker1 going to have that advantage with the spawns, going to get to market a bit quicker here, as Elbow going to be the longer route, and they are going to use that advantage quite well here as they do get onto site. The trades back and forth as it does look like Clock going to take the advantage right off the bat here. Exos going to be trying to challenge that as Desktop 2 and Coffee on site alone. Claudio going to be coming in here. A lot of HP for him as he does have that SMG in hand. Will have the advantage there as he does take them down. Coffee Sauce wants to push in with that LMG, going to be sponging a lot of bullets for his teammates here, but it doesn't really matter here, as it does look like now mHacker with quite the disadvantage here as they try to get onto site. And with that being said, Elbow does look to be quite the area of contention here at the moment. Desktop 2 going to be walking forward as Coffee and P going to be walking forward and taking site control. Exos still wants something to do with it, even though the objective's about to rotate out soon. They still want to make sure they can leech as many points as they can off of the site. Doesn't really matter though, because SNI and Eugenius are already going to be on this bottom platform, and I feel like they have quite the strong cement so far.
Indeed, it is going to be mHacker1 with the lead so far, and they are going to be holding onto the site for as long as they can, but never mind. Desktop 2 is going to get that 5 kill streak down, killing down Exo and Snide to take the point back from here. 40 seconds left. Eugenie is trying to find some picks here, but cannot find anything. Claudio pushing in, getting those 2 kills as well, and Exo getting that last kill onto LTP. We have 35 seconds left. Red the Blind coming from Underpass and Desktop 2, and everyone else coming from Elbow here. Exo's taking him down as well. Desktop 2 getting the trade onto Eugenius, and Claudio still trying to remain alive for as long as he can. Getting another kill. No, he cannot. Claudio with the 2 kills as he is going to be taken down, and Exo's getting that trade off as well. Eugenius all on the point now. 17 seconds left. Coffee Sauce hitting the first pick onto Claudio. Eugenius choking all his points here, and LTP and Exo's the two people remaining alive. My bad. I'm starting so much right now, as I just couldn't describe of what I was seeing right there. But we are going to be on the next point. Majora, what do you think is going to happen here?
And you think you're stuttering a little bit, but I think these players are definitely stuttering as they do come into sight here. Coffee going to be very low, tagged down, and it does look like Exos doesn't even know where he's at here. Walking into 3 people and 3 barrels just staring at you is not the situation you wanted to be in. Especially when Clock has such the strong hold on this scaffolding area. I mean, we see Red the Blind holding under here. Not the normal strat we see, but it is going to net him some kills here as they do just run into the meat grinder. Snee, the last person. Here's Claudio also going to get tagged down. And Coffee looking pretty nice on that so far, as he does have quite a lot of kills. Going to be sponging a lot of bullets for his team here. Red the Blind going to be tagged very low as he's not semi-automatic. Surprised to not see him on the AK today, but it does look like it's going to work out either way in his favor. Eugenius and Claudio going to be looking to peek early here, as they might just want to go ahead and give the point over to them and then rotate to the upper platform area, and I think that's exactly what's going to happen. This does look like Desktop and P going to be leading the charge.
Yes, of course. It just seems like mHacker has lost that lead that they had, and Clock is going to be on a pretty massive lead now. They are going to be up by 1,000 points now. That is something that you do not want to see. And next is going to be taken down, and Claudio trying to get a pick here. He does indeed get in. Snide going to be the last one, but Red the Blind taking him down, as Clock is still going to remain on this point, having all the point to themselves and having all that control down. Claudio's going to be the first one, and he is going to get one, and Claudio's going to get a second one. Can he get another one? Eugenie's getting the pick onto Coffee Sauce, and finally everyone is going to be taken down from Clock, and it is going to be in mHacker's favor now. And LTP trying to b-hop back and forward, trying to distract them, and it does work indeed. LTP getting the pick onto Exos as well. And that is going to be point for Clock once again. It just seems like everything's going to be back and forward, but Clock just remaining, just gaining those, just making that gap huger between the two teams here. But there is going to be 5 seconds left on this rotation, and we are going to be going to the second rotation for the game. Majuro, take us away.
So I feel like Yup Clock definitely has the advantage when it comes to the team play and the rotations. I mean, you can see Lieutenant P there with the movement as he's trying his best to win the 1v2. But as I was saying, Yup Clock really has the movement down, and I feel like their coordination is a bit higher tier. That being said, though, M Hacker definitely with the frag potential. Desktop 2 going to be sitting on site here as Red the Blind going to be backing him up as Coffee Sauce also walks onto site here. It does look like they're going to be taking down Phantom as well as Claudio as they do rotate onto site. As Desktop 2 looks for the flank here. Exo's trying to get him out of there. That sniper close range is not something you want to see, especially against the AK, as Lieutenant P does come in there to back him up. Coffee Sauce on the site here with the LMG just camping in the corner, wants to make sure he can regain that HP as he is the anchor for the site here. He's looking to find 2. Claudio going to be taking him out though, and it does look like M Hacker going to be taking a few points off of them, but it's not something to really cry about, especially when Yup Clock is up 1,500 so far.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yup Clock still still gaining the gap, and they are gonna maintain the gap for as long as they can, as they are gonna be trying to hold down the site. Red the Blind gonna be the last one here. But M Hacker already on the point. What can they do to hold this down? Claudio's going to be taken down after taking down LTP. And it's going to be all up to Snai now as he's going to try to hold this down. And Coffee Sauce is going to be taken down by Snai. And Snai with the 5 kill streak down. 35 seconds left. And everyone from M Hacker is going to be everyone's going to be coming together here. Desktop 2 with the kill onto Eugenius. And Claudio still going to remain alive as he is going to take down Desktop 2. Exo's also trying to get some picks here. And he does get one. And Claudio is going to be taken down at the end. But Eugenius pushing up. Can he find anything here? He finds one. Can he find another one? And he does. He gets the kill onto Desktop 2. And still going to be on this point for himself. And everyone's going to be gaining up here. 13 seconds left. And Coffee Sauce is going to try to go in. But he did choke all the speed that he needed to get on the site there. 7 seconds left. They are still trying to find some kills here. But they are going to be taken down by Yup Clock. And Yup Clock going to be on the point. But it is going to be a little bit late as we are going to be going to double wall here.
Yep, and double wall, as I say every week. Hard to defend, but also hard to attack if defended correctly. And with that being said, it does look like the defense looking strong for Yup Clock here, as they do have 2 on site looking for the spawns, as Red the Blind going to be there a little late, and he's trapped outside on this box here. Revolver in hand as he does see Eugenius on the close angle. Doesn't really matter where Claudio's at, because Snee and Eugenius going to be going down as well. As he does get picked off. Coffee going to be sitting on the back of sight here. Is Red the Blind looking for the rotates here, and he does know that somebody's going to be coming from this market area, but will he get caught out? Claudio going to be finding one, almost 2 here as Red the Blind just not able to actually find what he needs there, as Exos does run onto site as well. And it did look like the rotate was very strong out of Yup Clock, but it's just the awareness. They just really got the timing there, as they were looking for that rotate. Yup Clock on a lot of points here. They can afford to go play team deathmatch, as Coffee is going to be doing right now. Looking for Snee here. Does find Snee, and that's a super good pick, especially early on that site.
Yes, for sure. Yup Clock still maintaining this gap, like I said a lot of times before, but they're just making it bigger and bigger for themselves. But Eugenius finally getting that pick onto LTP. Finally letting M Hacker soak up all the points here. They need to defend as much as they can just to take back all the points that they lost here. 40 seconds left here, and Eugenius is going to be the last one, and he's going to be taken down by Red the Blind from K2K. 34 seconds left here. Yup Clock still trying to maintain the defense down, and Eugenius is going to be pushing, getting that first pick and the second pick onto Coffee Sauce, but Red Blind trying to get those picks, and Snai finally getting the trade down, but Desktop 2 getting the pick onto Snai as well. Exo is going to be taken aback by Desktop 2 just pushing through sight here. 15 seconds left. Coffee Sauce still trying to find a pick here, and he does not find anything. 10 seconds left here, and it is going to be in M Hacker's favor once again. But they are going to be a lot behind. They need to be on this point for as long as they can, but just seems like they just like playing off the point at times. But we are going to be at the last rotation here, Majora.
Yeah, and this last rotation definitely looks like it's going to go in Yup Clock's favor. I mean, the entire match so far has been in their favor here, as it does look like a big scuffle going to be going down right outside market. Yup Clock going to be winning that. Desktop 2 tagged very low, does live. And with that rifle in hand, he is going to be defending from the backside here. Snee going to be looking in, but it doesn't look... Looks like he does find Claudio through the wall instead, so that's a bit of a treat for him. Claudio going to be on the flank. Does find a rotate as Coffee does get onto site. Eugenius and Claudio now just trying their best to defend the site here, as M Hacker does need any point they can get. Desktop coming from behind though. The SMG going to be formidable at close range, as Claudio does prove that. Red the Blind going to be finding picks way off in the east side of the map here, as Eugenius does trade that out quickly. Sneak and Eugenio going to be going down onto site here as Eugenius comes in with a nice revolver shot, does shut that down before it even starts here as Exos has that sniper close range here, and it does look like Yup Clock going to be pushed off the site for the first time in a while here.
Oh yeah, for sure. They still have 1,800 points on top of them, and now 2,000 almost. So LTP is going to be holding down this side, and Coffee Sauce and Red the Blind finally pushing up here. And Exos is going to try to take a balcony peek right here, but he is going to be spotted out. But he does put down Coffee at low HP, and he does finish that kill that he first started. Eugenius is going to get the 2 kills. Can he find another one? He's going to be hunting around for one, and he cannot find the other one as Exos is going to take him down there. 29 seconds, so Claudio's going to be on the point here, but he doesn't spot out Eugenius here. Oh my god, might be huge for them. Actually, never mind, they're on the same team. That's my mistake. 20 seconds left on this point. LTP is going to be peeking here. He's going to get 2 kills as well, and Desktop 2 getting the last 2 kills as well onto the site. 15 seconds left, and they have to be stacking on this point if they want to maintain that huge gap that they put out. And there's going to be M Hacker trying to take it once again, but it is going to be a little bit late as their movement isn't on par right now, as they just needed to push in there and get all the points that they need, but they aren't even going to stack at the point at the last moment, as we are going to be going to the next point.
And the gap looking so large as it is, it doesn't look like M Hacker is going to be able to do anything about this, but just play the best they can to try to put on a show for the end of the game here. Coffee going to be tagged low, and that LMG is just proving to be very difficult for them to deal with, and I'm surprised M Hacker hasn't tried attacking as a 2-man squad on each side here. Eugenius trying to do that as LTP going to be behind him. Sneed does get onto site, but Desktop 2 still was not killed from that last attack there, and he is going to be living with 1 HP. Eventually getting the trade where it was necessary, as Sneed and Eugenius going to be pushing back onto site here. Desktop going to be the only one on, but Red the Blind going to be hitting him in the blind side, no pun intended here. Claudio going to be up behind him as well now, and Lieutenant P and Coffee Sauce onto the site here as they do get the respawns. 10 seconds for Yup Clock to just soak more points up, and that's exactly what they're going to do here. Because it does look like Coffee going to be running out here. Eugenius finding 2 nice frags onto Yup Clock so far, as Claudio going to be shutting that down as well. Coffee Sauce trying to get to the top level.
This is going to be the last point for M Hacker versus Yup Clock, and, you know, anything can happen here, honestly, but they are going to be a lot behind right now. But maybe something can happen if they just stack on the point all together and work together as a team and just hold down this point for as long as they can. But never mind, Desktop 2 just rejects that, as he is going to be taken down by Eugenius. Eugenius has put on a lot of effort to try to carry his team, but it just seems like they aren't cooperating together for this match here. 27 seconds on Claudio getting the pick onto LTP and Desktop 2. But I don't think that will be enough, as Eugenius is off the point once again. And everyone is going to be off the point here. This isn't looking too good for M Hacker, but maybe next game they will put out an even better effort as a team together, as EXO is going to get the pick onto Coffee Sauce and Claudio the pick onto Red. And with 7 seconds left, it just seems like Yup Clock is going to be taking map 1 for the round 1 of the game, and the knife coming in at the end as well. GG's coming from both teams. We are going to be seeing a map 2 again against M Hacker and Yup Clock. We are going to see Undergrowth. And yeah, that was a pretty interesting game. What do you think about that game, Majora?
I mean, I feel like it was a decisive victory from Yup. I wouldn't be surprised if we went into game 2 here and seen the exact same thing. Whether it's just first game of the day jitters or M Hacker just wasn't bringing their A game today is something to be wondered about. But I definitely feel like Yup Clock going at least to 3rd round here in this tournament. I know they're great players, and they've definitely proved that in game 1.
Oh yeah, for sure. And everyone in chat, make sure you check out our socials under our Nightbot command. If any of the mods can do that for me, !socials. We have our YouTube, which promotes every one of our highlights from every weekly that we have. We have our Twitter at twitter.com/Krunker E, not esports, just E. I don't know why it's like that. And we have our Twitch channel, which you are watching the weekly on, so that is also something to look out for. And guys, we have an upcoming weekly that has a huge prize pool. We have the Pickle Bet League, which is sponsored. Pickle Bet League sponsoring our weekly, and there is going to be a $5,000 prize pool, and that is going to be actually starting in 8 hours after this weekly. So that is something to look forward to. That is going to be something to watch out for, as that is going to be a huge thing to partake in. So I don't know if the signups are closed yet, but if they aren't, make sure that you actually sign up. Try to find some people that you can play with. And you know, the next game we are going to be in Undergrowth. And for people that are just tuning in, map 1 was taken by Yep Clock, and we are going to be going to map 2 on Undergrowth. And, guys, make sure follow us on Twitter, subscribe to our YouTube to check out anything, and, join our Discord if you want to partake in future weeklies. We have 4 regions. We have OCE, we have NA, we have EU, and we have Asia. And I'm pretty sure next up is going to be OCE, but that is going to be sponsored by Picklebet League, like we said. And, that is going to be something to look forward to. As a 5,000 prize pool is going to be something to look forward to, honestly, to win. That is just a huge prize pool. That is 5 times the amount of money that you usually get from a normal weekly that you get. And look at that, J Powell with the gifted sub into Chet GG in the chat. And thank you, J Powell, for that sub. And we are going to be waiting on this game 2. What are your predictions, Major? What do you think is going to happen for M Hacker versus Yep Clock?
So, as I said, Yep Clock really looking decisive here in this first game. I mean, it's definitely GG all around. Players are, quite sportsmanlike after this one. I see some banter in chat. But either way, Yep Clock just really looking like the better team at this point. I mean, obviously, anything can happen in game 2, and I'm not going to put M Hacker completely down. But I feel like Yep Clock going to win this one, and most likely in the next round as well, that they get faced into. But it's anybody's game at this point.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we are going to be waiting for the players to load in as we have the next map open. But guys, make sure you follow us on our Twitter if you can. We have our bracket open, as someone just in chat just put that in. So if you want to see who is going to be playing in this weekly, you can definitely check that out over at challenge.com/EU week 1 or week 11 actually. And we also have it on the screen if you just want to take a look. But during our castings or during the games, if you ever want to check it out, make sure you just put down exclamation mark bracket so you can see the bracket. And also make sure that you follow our Twitter so that you can be updated on who wins and there as well. This is a super interesting map, as everything is going to be more open. Actually, Sandstorm being a closed map and Undergrowth being a hugely open map. Every point is actually pretty much open. So, anything can happen for this map. Maybe the tides can turn. Maybe it'll be a reverse sweep coming from M Hacker. Something that I actually could see happening, as both of these teams have put out some pretty good fights out so far. But we are going to be starting the game in 13 seconds with Majora taking the first point. And
Of course.
Yeah, that's going to be something interesting to watch. And we
nice,
are starting in 3 seconds. Majora, why don't you take us off?
Some nice sprays down here, as we do see all of the love coming out from the players here. The Krunk at 1 and 3. Missing the middle part, but it doesn't really matter here. Of course, Yep Clock going to be getting the advantage here as they do spawn on the upper platform. Going to be getting the site here immediately. Exo's going to be the only one to find a kill for M Hacker so far, as Claudio going to be in from behind here, and this could be absolutely huge here as he does find 2. Desktop 2. No pun intended, going to be taking him out as Eugenius is going to be behind him. Desktop on low HP. I feel like he's often living with 1 HP. Very lucky man here, as it does look like. Now, Rabbit Hole going to be the point of contention. Claudio going to be in there as Eugenius does get tagged down so he can get the kill. Exos on site the whole time with the sniper, though. Nobody really knows where he's at here as he does jump around that box, gets the frag. And 2 looking to come through Rabbit Hole. And it does look like they push a little early. LTP and Coffee Sauce on the back flank now. And M Hacker so far looking to give a name for themselves. They have made the site clearly in their favor. They have found a lot of frags on the up clock so far here. And they're definitely looking stronger in this game than they have before. Snee, very low HP here as we do move on to the next site. We will have to see how M Hacker is going to attack this.
Oh, yes, for sure. There's already going to be Yep Clock on the point, though. Claudio trying to find a pick here, but cannot find the pick onto Red the Blind, as he is going to be taken down. And it's going to be 45 seconds of Yep Clock still just holding on to the side. Eugenius pushing in. He finds 1 kill, but cannot find another one, as M Hacker still going to be holding on to this. Actually, it's going to be M Hacker taking the point from them. And 35 seconds left, and Yep Clock are going to be pushing 1 by 1 here. Something that you do not want to see in a experience, actually, because you just need to push on all together as a team if you do want to take back the point here, as Snai is going to get the pick onto Coffee Sauce. 23 seconds left. Eugenius still peeking around, trying to pre-fire his way through, trying to find a pick here. Claudio is going to be taken down by Desktop 2, and Coffee Sauce right behind him, as he is going to get the kill. But he is going to be taken down by LTP as well. 10 seconds left on this point. Claudio is still trying to find 1, but cannot find anything, as Eugenius just putting out the pressure onto LTP and Red the Blind, killing both of them. And it is going to be M Hacker still maintaining the lead. Oh my god, this is something that has changed drastically from last game, Majora.
Yeah, and I feel like so far, Yep Clock has site control early, except for that first point, obviously. But something that they're not able to do on Undergrowth here is actually keep the site control. I mean, Eugenius just runs in there and finds the frags here as he does lead his team to what looks like the site control. Claudio going to be the last one onto site here as Desktop does push. Snee going to be from behind here, and that LMG just too formidable. A lot of HP on him here as he is able to turn around and find the frag. Exos onto the site here as Desktop going to be finding another. Red the Blind going to be trading him out as Snee gets onto site. Now it does look like two M-Hacker players onto the site here. Yep, Clock, a bit awareness here as they do run past the site. Claudio going to be finding a double as he does get the nice headshot onto Red the Blind here. So far, Cave has been quite the experience here for both teams, I'd say, as Snee does find himself the last person on site, going to be peeking out and finding the frag here. And Yup, Clock's definitely not going to be happy about what just happened there. I mean, there was a lot of frag ringing out left and right, a lot of awareness issues, but either way, double walls.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'd definitely be upset myself if I saw my teammates just running out like that. But we do have 45 seconds on the point. 15 seconds have already passed since the last point, and it just seems like Yep Clock has been holding on to this point for as long as they can. And Desktop 2 with the 2 kills on the Snai and Eugenius. Very nice play come from Desktop 2, as they are still going to be holding on to the site and potentially even get the lead back as well. 20 seconds of Eugenius choking up down all the speed that he built up, and Red the Blind going to be the last one, but he is going to be taken down at the end. But Coffee Sauce, can he make a play here? He's going to be pushing in, but he cannot find anything, as Claudio is going to get the 3 kill streak, ending with Coffee Sauce. 15 seconds left, and they are going to be all taken down one by one. They have to be pushing in together if they want to take something from here. And Coffee Sauce the first one in, but nobody there to back him up as well. 5 seconds left on this point, and they are going to be pushing off here, and LTP finally getting the... Actually, it's going to be Desktop 2 getting the last kill, but it's going to be a little bit late as M-Hacker still getting that lead back, and we are going to be back at the first point of the second rotation.
And I find it funny there, they do find those frags here at the end, and they run onto site, even though they understand that roundabout going to be already spawning in. I think that was a bit of a miscalculation by them. They thought, hey, we got the frags to take site. Bit of miscommunication out of them. It doesn't really matter. M-Hacker going to be on site getting the points early here. It's a slim lead for them so far. Yep, Clock definitely looking to come back strong as they are going to try that. 2 players going to be looking to run into Rabbit Hole. Actually, 1 as he does find himself fragged. Desktop 2 and Coffee onto the site here as LTP going to be waiting just a bit longer as Eugenius last on site. And the Alamo is not going to be defended today. Here's Snee going to be running onto site as LTP and Coffee going to be just trying their best to hold it. Here is Desktop also with that AK in hand. Strong anchors. Snee, Claudio, and Eugenius going to be looking to find themselves onto the site here. Exos getting himself a nice plant onto this upper platform as he does want to go ahead and start leeching the points.
And yes, indeed, Majora is going to be 49 seconds left on this point, as Claudio is going to be holding on to the point for as long as he can. And he's going to be taking down Coffee Sauce with Eugenius at the end, and there's going to be 40 seconds left. Everyone pushing down by themselves once again. Desktop 2 getting the pick onto Eugenius and Claudio. Good stuff coming from Desktop, as he is going to be taking the site for his team here with 30 seconds left. Exos getting the pick onto Coffee Sauce, but Desktop 2 getting the 5 kill streak, but is going to be taken down by Eugenius here. And Claudio taking down Red the Blind as well. 23 seconds left here, and Coffee Sauce is going to be the first one here. He's going to get 1, but Claudio with the trade as well. LTP getting the pick onto Exos and Sniper, getting the 2 kills on the LTP and Desktop 2. That is going to be good stuff coming from Snai, as Red the Blind finally takes a point for his team here, but it's not going to be looking too good, as Claudio is going to be pushing up, getting the pick off the Red the Blind as well. 7 seconds left, and it is going to be LTP with the kill onto Snai as well. And nobody's going to be on the point here, as Snai is going to be rotating off to the next point here, with Yep Clock already defending it, and Claudio taking that last kill as well.
And with Yep Clock already on this site here, they are going to be getting a few points that they need. M-Hacker going to be shutting that down early though, as Exos going to be onto the site here, and it does look like Eugenius finding Red the Blind here as he does get onto site, going to be sitting in that back corner. That's a strong position for him to play on. Claudio looking to find Coffee Sauce. Coffee Sauce going to be tagged down by Snee though. LTP going to be getting onto site, and it's just back and forth action here, especially on this cave area. Heaven for Eugenius here, as he does get sent there immediately as he does get fragged. Coffee and Desktop going to be sitting on site, and for the first time, Yep Clock, 4 men on site here as they are looking to defend. Eugenius going to be tagging them a little bit as Snee and Exos come onto the site here. A good distraction too, as Claudio able to run onto the site and find Desktop, and now just as I say it, the tower does get toppled. Yup, Clock going to be tagged off of the site here. Now Claudio and Eugenius going to be holding on to that lead as long as they can.
Yes, indeed, Major. This is going to be the last point of the second rotation. It is going to be the last rotation next, as we see that M Hacker still has his lead down. But Yep Clock has actually been holding down the site pretty good for the last one, but never mind. M Hacker is going to take the point back from them. 45 seconds left. Eugenius finally rotating through and getting on the point with his team here. Coffee Sauce going to be pushing him, but everyone's just going to be staying behind. Can Coffee find anything else? But he cannot find anything, as he is going to be the last one alive. And Red the Blind finally getting that trade onto Claudio, as well as Claudio had the 5 kill streak, but it is going to be ended by Coffee Sauce. It's going to be 47 seconds left here, as Eugenius is going to be pushing in. He's going to find 2, but cannot find any more. Red the Blind and Dust Out 2 both here by themselves, and Exo is going to be taken down. And finally, LTP. Where's LTP going? Oh my god, he has to stay on the point for as long as he can, actually, because they're just still behind by a lot of points here. And 12 seconds left. LTP is going to be holding an interesting angle here. It's going to kind of work out in their favor, but Eugene is getting the 2 kills on the Coffee Sauce and Red the Blind. That sets up 2. Still going to remain alive, and he's still going to get the kills here. Oh my god, he's going to get a 3K to defend the point. They are only back by 20 points now. I don't know what's going to happen for this last rotation, Majora. What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I do know that M Hacker going to be on the site early here, looking to find the points. And if we could just talk about Yup Clock real quick. I mean, the team's spread is very interesting. Coffee Sauce on very little points here. His Desktop going to be more than double his points, as he gets 6.4k. Interesting to say the least here, is Yup Clock definitely having some lacking members in this round here. But you never know what's going on in the team comms here. Eugenius going to be finding 2, 3, as he does get tagged down. Those headshots with the revolver doing excellent work to defend the site here. Yup Clock onto it. Coffee Sauce going to be the last one. Eugenius onto the site here. Does know that that LMG can get taken down with that revolver. It's quite a strong weapon. Snee going to be onto the site here. Doesn't look behind him here. LTP doesn't even know what's going on, as he does get saved. And his Angel going to be watching over him today here. Claudio and Exos going to be looking to get to the other site here, as it does look like top platform going to be spawning. Coffee Sauce going to be tagging him before he can get there, though.
And it is going to be M Hacker just defending the site for as long as they can. And Yep Clock actually tied on points now, but M Hacker finally taking it back, as Snipe is not going to be holding on to the site. Coffee, the first one in, and Red the Blind with the 2 kills onto Eugenius and Exos. Good stuff coming from him, as they are going to be taking the point and potentially even take the lead now. Now all they have to do is just hold on for as long as they can. But Desktop 2 not looking at the right place, and Red the Blind going to be taken down by Claudio as well. M Hacker finally taking the point back for themselves. They have to take it back here if they want to take the points back. Eugenius with the collateral onto Coffee Sauce and LTP. My god. And 20 seconds left on the side. Still going to remain alive for his team to rotate around. M Hacker still putting out a spectacular performance. Something that I actually haven't seen, because I just didn't expect this to happen from what I've seen from Sandstorm. But they have been working together as a team here, as Yep Clock is actually going to take the lead back once again. I spoke too soon, but we are going to be at the next point with M Hacker 1 already stacked on it. They are going to be trying to hold this for as long as they can, Majora.
Well, M Hacker going to be proving that that verification badge was not for nothing here, as they are going to try their best to stay into this game. Looking for a map 3, and I really hope we do get it here. Get the emotes ready, because Yup Clock only a few points up here. Eugenius on the Heaven here. I'm not sure why he's peeking Heaven with that LMG, or that revolver rather. As it's quite the dangerous situation to be in here. Red Blind also going to be finding one, as Desktop 2 does sit onto the site here. Snee going to look to get onto the site, not going to be finding much, as Desktop 2 just going off with that AK. Eugenius and Exos get onto site here. LTP with that sniper not going to be aware of his surroundings here. So it looks like Exos going to be finding one with that Deagle here, the quick swap. Sniper not good at close range here. Doesn't matter, because Claudio has the SMG rather, as he's going to be quite deadly at close range. Coffee going to be proving to him that he can also be deadly at close range. Here's M Hacker now going to get as many points as they possibly can before the swap does come in, and these double walls already held by Yup Clock. It does look like it's a dangerous situation to be in.
And this is going to be the last point, Majora. I don't know. Anything can happen on these points. We've just seen the game being back and forward, and Desktop 2 still taking his team alive and still taking the points, and it's time to kill all of them with 40 seconds left here, and Coffee Sauce finally rotating through. It is going to be all up to M Hacker 1 to take this point back. Eugene's going to be pushing, but LTP's not looking the right direction. He's not going to be helping his team here, but finally killing down Claudio at the last second with a 5 kill streak here. 29 seconds left, and it just seems like Yup Clock actually has the upper hand here. But M Hacker has to take this point back no matter what the consequences. But they're still not looking for LTP, but they finally do. Eugenius with the 2 kills. Coffee Sauce is going to be the last one, and they are going to be taken down. And M Hacker is going to be on the point here, but can they stack enough? I don't think it's mathematically possible for them to stack this long, even if they defend it for as long as they can. And definitely not, as it is going to be game to Yep Clock. Game 2 as well. GG's to both teams, as Yep Clock is going to be taking round 1 for themselves, and they are going to be advancing to the next round.
And I can't say I'm surprised, but at the same time, Hacker definitely put up a big fight there in the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we are going to be seeing Yep Clock advancing to round 2 against Team Sid. Team Sid actually beating Krunker, actually. They've actually haven't lost a single EU tournament for the last, EU weekly for the last 10 ones, actually. They've been on a 10 winning streak. Let's see if they can actually, just keep that up and even go to the finals and win. But anything can happen, honestly, because, One Hit is also a super hard opponent to go against, honestly. I've seen all the players there, and they seem like they know what they're doing, and they are pretty ranked high up there, honestly, in the comp leaderboard. But only time can tell from the finals. I don't know what's going to happen in the semifinals or finals. I'm going a little bit ahead of myself, but anything can happen, like I said. And everyone in chat, make sure you follow our Twitter at twitter.com/KrunkerE. Subscribe to our YouTube over at YouTube. You can do !YouTube to check our YouTube out. Exclamation point Twitter to check our Twitter out. And you could also do !socials to check all of our socials down below. We also have a Discord where you can sign up for, future weeklies in the coming days. We also have the Pickle Bet tournament that I think you can sign up for. I'm not sure. But we do have a Pickle Bet tourney sponsored by Pickle Bet for our OC weekly, and it is going to be starting in actually 8 hours after this one, so that is going to be something to look out for. And the prize pool is going to be a whopping $5,000, so that's going to be a super interesting tournament hosted by, it's going to be actually casted by Boomer and Kitfox. Kitfox being a new caster, it is going to be super interesting and super fun to watch him cast Krunker. A lot of new faces in the casting booth, and it is something to look forward to for sure. But as we're waiting, make sure you do !socials for the people just tuning in. Round 1 was taken by Yep Clock, and they are going to be going against Team Sid for round 2. But the next one up is going to be VIP French Nuts and Sifa and Co. next up in the tournament. These are some new faces haven't seen before, so really I can't really tell what's going to happen here. But Major, what do you think is going to happen against VIP French Nuts and Sifa and Co? What do you know about them? What can you give to us?
So these are two teams that I haven't really looked into very much. Of course, being that I'm more of an NA player, definitely love my NA boys. I'm going to just make a random prediction. I feel like Co is going to come out with the victory, and I'm making that purely as a random prediction here, and we'll have to see if the Caster's Curse does get casted onto them, as we do get into the next game here soon. But I do want to talk real quick about esports, right? A lot of people asking how these guys better and compete.
Krunker esports